Well, it's the third and final stop of Liverpool's US tour, and we're at Soldier Field, home of the Chicago Bears. The city has been the base for some grueling fitness sessions so far. It's been intense, but with 3 more returning senior players, it's getting that little bit closer to the real thing. So it's Liverpool against Leeds United. All the action gets underway at 9 in the UK. That's a traditional 3 o'clock kickoff. And we are here in Chicago. You can watch all of Liverpool's remaining friendlies live on LFC TV, online on the club app and via connected TVs with all red video. And there's a 2-week free trial as well if you want to jump on board and watch it with us. Video.liverpoolfc.com to sign up. Well, welcome to Chicago in the company of Phil Thompson and Robbie Fowler. Our 5th time at Soldier Field now. The conditions are probably a bit more suited to home. In fact, we hear the weather's been an awful lot better at home than here.
It's been gorgeous, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Last couple of days here have been a bit windswept. Not doing my hairstyle any good, Pete, but look, it's probably good for the players, isn't it? Probably to get a little bit more oxygen in the lungs, I think, over here.
It's nice, isn't it? Because we just started this transmission and the sun's come out.
Yeah.
It's been really cloudy all morning.
How have you found it, Tomo? It's been a fact-finding mission, and he gets that little bit closer today, doesn't he, Andoni Iraola?
Yeah, it is, and you're looking at it. It was nice the other day. We got to sort of see a training session, which was wonderful, and to get so up close and seeing how not just Iraola, how he handles it, but all his coaching staff, to see how they've got a grip. I can just tell everybody the intensity was quite something. And I know Robbie and Rushy were doing it from the top at the training ground, but I was literally there, and the sort of how they were committed to every part of the session was quite astonishing. Honestly, it was really impressive. It'd be nice if they can keep that up. It's a bigger game today from the other two. First one for obvious reasons. First game of pre-season. Wrexham, this one will be a little bit more intense.
For you, Rob, you've been impressed with what you've seen on the training ground?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I mean Tomo just nailed it. I think we want to see the intensity. It's probably what the team lacked last year. First and foremost, Andoni comes in, and he has a style and a way of playing that is what we want to see at Liverpool. Last year they were a little bit monotonous in terms of how they approached the game, back and forth, little sideways passes. But I think the intensity and the willingness to pass forward at every opportunity, which was what really noticeable in the training session.
This is a stadium, by the way, that had a game played on it last night. You might have read that Chicago Fire have signed Lewandowski. He scored twice. The pitch is a little bit different to what they're used to, Tomo. I think that is safe to say. They're going to have to be careful today. Yeah,
very much so. It's very dry at the moment. Hopefully they're going to put... This is not George Shefton, by the way, on this. This is so loud. But it's very dry, and it absolutely hammered down yesterday all day. But it's as dry as anything, so it doesn't... You need it to be quicker to make a spectacle of it, for both teams to be able to pass it. So I do hope they're going to get the sprinklers on before the game.
Some stadium, though, isn't it? It's not far off Anfield in terms of the capacity, but it looks bigger, doesn't it? It looks vast, almost like a rugby ground, if you like.
Yeah, I mean, typical American football stadium, isn't it, where it's really, really tight as well. You don't really see this in some of the stadiums over here. Nice and compact. It's going to create a good atmosphere. I think, as Tomo was saying there, we probably need a little bit of sip on the pitch for the game to sort of ebb and flow. Yeah, it's a lovely stadium, and look, I think you remember way back in 2014, Liverpool were last year, weren't they? Raheem Sterling scored the winner against Olympiacos.
Some memory.
Yeah, I remember that because I was here.
Chicago Bulls as well. The players have been taking that place in over the last couple of days. It's all about trying to fill this private time as well. We know how boredom can get to players on international camps, pre-season camps. What they've really enjoyed about this last couple of weeks, Tomo, is they have a little bit of anonymity here. The players have been allowed to go out for coffees, go out for walks, and a lot of people don't recognise them.
No, it is once you get away from the hotel, because either side of the hotel, people have got to understand, this is Liverpool, everybody wants to see them, but they were either side, but there was a way out if they wanted to go out to the back, just to get out, and they were allowed to do that. But that's not making it sound as though there's been a lot of downtime. they've trained every day. Even when they arrive late into New York, they train. So they're like that to us, but we've been there, and you train. We trained on the day of games in pre-season. So it is, but it's nice to have a bit of downtime to get out, because you don't often get a chance to see these cities. But to be able to stroll around, people don't even recognise you. It's not often like that.
All managers are different. He's been quite relaxed about that part of the club. I suppose it drives you mad, certain managers that go, no, stay in the hotel, go in the games room, go in the pool, but stay here.
Look, I think there's a time and a place for that, obviously. I think what Tom was saying there as well, so I mean, you give Andoni a little bit of credit because he has given the lads a bit of a little bit of free time to go and have a coffee or go on a little walk and see the sights and see the city. But they've worked extremely hard. I mean, what Tom was just saying there about, straight after the Wrexham game, flew from New York, we landed at 3 a.m, got to the hotel at 4, and he were up training at 10 o'clock in the morning. So, he has worked them, and I love the fact is, he's work hard. I'm not saying you play hard, but you go and have your coffees and you go and have a see the sights. But look, we're here to work, and this is what pre-season's all about. And I think he's found a good level, I think, Andoni.
Because it's a whole learning experience. Like some of the first team players, these cities are wonderful. They may not have been here. So although they've come here to play football, you need to sort of go and at least see something, take a couple of hours out to have a look round. But for the young players, they might not have it. We've seen Jurgen's young players in the Carabao Cup. A lot of them sort of disappeared. So you have to make the most of all your opportunities when you can. Embrace it, embrace the training sessions, but just to embrace the surrounds is what you're in. Nashville, New York, Chicago, great names on the world map, and these young lads have been able to come and appreciate it.
Should we take a look at the team? We will get into this as we go, but there are 5 changes from that team that played against Wrexham the other night, and what will come as good news is that there is a start for Florian Wirtz and also for Alexander Isak as well. So it's a strong-looking Liverpool team there. Mamardashvili in goal, Kerkez, Wirtz, Soboslai, Isak, Frimpong, Nioni, Chambers, Morrison, Engamoa, and then Duque. We'll get into the intricacies of all of these players, and as you can see now, quite a healthy-looking substitutes bench just in case. First looks at Isak, Wirtz and Gravenberch this season. Rob, I think everybody is excited about that.
Can I just say, we've been to somewhere today, this morning, doing a corporate thing. Robbie did call it right. He said he hopes that Wirtz and Isak in particular start today and not come on the second half. And
I'm glad you listened, Tomo, because I've been telling you for 20 odd years. You should have kept me.
Yeah, but I know, but I never listened to you. That's why we got rid.
No, and in all fairness, I think we sort of worked it out. I think it comes to the point now where we're not actually far from the start of the season. Was it 2.5, 3 weeks now? So it becomes a point where your big players have got to go and play minutes, and I don't think we'll see the sharpness and the directness of Wirtz or of Alexander Isak today, but we're going to get minutes, and these minutes will be vital in their promotion to the games leading into the season.
I know you don't ever like to be a sub in any football match, but players have come to accept that there will be limited minutes. But why is it different that he starts the game today as opposed to come on in a much changed, perhaps, second half?
I think it's better when you come on and start the game because I think you can sort of not control yourself, that sounds terrible, but you can control the game. But if you're coming on maybe 60, 70 minutes, it probably takes a little while to get used to the game, and then you're probably playing for another 10, 15 minutes. So at least if you start the game, you can sort of grow into the game, and then we'll see like a real sharp and competitive edge to their game. Those are the 40 minutes, 45 minutes they're going to play.
I know Gravenberch is going to come on the second half. Well, I get what Robbie means is that it's not the same warm-up. You come out the second half and you'll warm up a little bit on the pitch before going on. It's not the same as warming up before the game and starting the game. Do you have a certain mentality for it? Because it's pre-season and that's what happens most of the time. So, but when you've joined later, you're behind. So you don't. I'll not be expecting them to hit the ground running. You'll see sloppiness, but that's what it's designed for, get them back up to speed. Iraola must have seen in them that they are capable and ready to start a match.
And you look back at this time last season when there was so much excitement about both these lads signing for the Reds. They've only managed 600 minutes together. So this is the start of what we're hoping is a little bit of rhythm.
Yeah, and I think we touched upon it the other day. I think that the big thing for me is Alexander Isak's doing pre-season, because I think that sort of really sort of ruined the season last year. We never see the fit and fire and Isak that would see that Newcastle. When we did see him getting back to his best, then unfortunately got injured. So and obviously the World Cup, I was a bit worried about the World Cup in terms of how far Sweden gone, because I didn't think he would get like the minutes in pre-season that we probably would have liked him. But thankfully he's here. He looks sharp during training, but he probably needs to play games so that alertness and sharpness becomes a little bit quicker. Because I mean, we've spoken off camera. I mean, you can feel unbelievably fit, but as soon as you play games, it's a different type of fitness in it. The alertness, the sharpness, the tactical nous, where you've got to sort of try and use your brain a little bit.
I think Isak in particular looked really sharp at the World Cup. I thought this augurs well for us in pre-season and the season. And I did worry, because you always wonder how far they're going to get. And sometimes we want England to go all the way. But when you look at all the other games, I'm looking at our players and I think get knocked out as soon as you can and get as much rest as you can. That sounds awful, but it is the way. You always look at your players and think, as they did, Holland and Germany, which Germany you thought they'd go a lot further.
It feels probably about 20 degrees at the moment. There's a really nice breeze inside the stadium. It will come as good news to the players. Let's find out how much the manager's looking forward to this test tonight. Susanna Fuller has been talking to Andoni Iraola.
And Donny, you said after the Wrexham match that was a much more complete team performance. How are you hoping the guys build on that today?
I think it could be a good game for us, no? Because Leeds is a team that I always say they have spirit, they run a lot, they will push us. Physically, I think for both teams it's going to be a demanding game. That is what you want in this moment of the pre-season, to build your conditioning, and I hope also we can play well.
Some of the senior guys will be getting their first preseason minutes. Isak, Wirtz, Gravenberch. What can you tell us about how you're going to utilize them?
Yes, the plan with them, with the three of them, is to play them for 45 minutes, like we did with the ones against Sunderland. That normally your first game you cannot go more than 45. They are not still fully ready, but it's the first step, no, towards the build up to Newcastle. That is 3 weeks from now. Is not as far, so we need them to get going as soon as possible.
Final stop on this U.S. tour, but a few weeks of preseason remain. How close are you to determining who your best 11 are?
I think preseason normally is different phases, no? Probably now in this U.S. tour we are more thinking on who can make the squad, what are, especially with the young players, the one who can be very useful for us, the one who maybe have to go on loan. And I think once the tour finishes, probably you start focusing more of, okay, it's 3 weeks, let's focus on the first game, who can start, who is ready to help us from the bench, and now we are there in the interim, no, in between.
Thank you for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, I got the chance to sit down with the boss ahead of this game. Had a lovely chat with him. It's currently all on All Red Video as well, an update on all of the players' individual situations and how he sees that squad shaping up for a brand new season. You can watch it at video.liverpoolfc.com. See more of what he thinks of this pre-season so far. What he does think, Rob, is that those two players we talked about are going to play 45 minutes each at least, and Gravenberch will do the same second half.
Yeah, and look, I just said before, I think it's vital for them now, because we are almost there. We still want to try and get the players fit. Of course, we want to see them get minutes in, but I think it's massively important that we do. Well, I mean, I was a bit surprised, maybe thinking a little bit longer, in all honesty. But if they're playing 45, then I think we'll take that. And I think it's better them starting as opposed to coming on and.
I know everything's done scientifically now, Tomo, but will there be some kind of market for just the naked eye, where if he thinks that they've done really well for 45, give them a little bit longer?
Listen, everything's down on iPads, computers and everything. They've got more analysis and people doing analysis on all the games and checking on the players. But these don't lie. These don't lie, and these. And sometimes you've got to understand that, and you see in players who are fitter than others. Just for instance, the other night, Dominic Szoboszlai ran past 3 of their players, and you go like that, you can see he's obviously fitter than a lot of other people. But I think it proved it last year in pre-season. They didn't up the minutes, I feel, it's my opinion, they didn't up the minutes of the main players who were going to start the season. You have to start giving them 60, 70 minutes in games to sort of get them up to speed. We weren't ready last year when we kicked off. The players weren't fit enough. We got to an hour. The Charity Shield game against Palace, bang! After an hour, we were hanging on.
I think there's something for the fact is obviously the platform now in terms of football team. We have an 18s, a 21s or a 23s in the first team. I think it's not really indicative to keeping the players fit, because if you're out with the first team, the levels below the 23s and the 18s are not like in keeping with what they should be, the players now. So I think back to when obviously we were playing, or when Tomo was coaching, we had a B team, an A team, a reserve team and a first team, so there was a steady progression. And if you weren't playing in the first team, you were playing with other players similar to you in the reserves. And I think that's missing from the game nowadays. So I understand, because obviously you spend a lot of money, but I mean, Isak, for example, when he was coming back, he was probably crying out for some little games, like at a good level. He's not going to get the level in the 21s or the 23s as he would do the first team. So I think he misses out, or players miss out on the fitness, or getting the fitness for that reason.
I think to help fans understand, Isak is a great point in case, because he didn't have a pre-season last season at all, and he struggled. You could see he struggled for all the time he was there. That is how vital it is, what we always believe in as players, and then as coaches, what you want to get out of pre-season. And he didn't help him. Not that the likes of his injury, which was a broken leg, but a lot of the time you don't get it. You push yourself, you get quads, you get hamstrings, you get calves, you get groin injuries. That's what comes your way.
I mean, what I'm sort of trying to say is, I mean, I broke my leg, but I had like games in the A team and then games in reserves before I played the first team. Whereas nowadays the players will get injured and they don't really play that many games with the lower league teams, because it's not to the level or the standard that they're maybe accustomed to or used to. So I think that's missing from today's game, actually.
I've said it before about young Rio. He was because of his prominence coming through. He wasn't playing in the under-21s. He wasn't getting much game time because he was with the first team all the time, but not really getting much game time with them. So he wasn't playing much. When he was coming to the last few months, get more, he was done after 60 minutes. Even in the under-21s, he was done after 60 minutes. So this is as vital for him as it is for Wirtz, as it is for Gravenberg, to get him up to speed, to be able to complete 90 minutes.
I suppose the other end of the scale is the situation with Jeremy Jacquet. They would love to have given him some minutes tonight, but it's that risk versus reward thing, and that they don't want his pre-season disrupted. So the moment he's a bit uncomfortable, they pull him out. I
mean, he's obviously fragile at the minute, isn't he? But I think obviously the injuries of Joe Gomez has played part of that as well. It's pushing him back, Jacquet, as if he's coming back, and obviously Joe Gomez is injured, then I mean, we're really in a little bit of trouble, aren't we? Because there's obviously no one there at the minute. So maybe managing him in terms of not playing him, trying to get him like as close to that 100% as we possibly can before we see him, is probably what's needed.
The other thing you'd maybe say from us as well, though, Tomo, is he's around it, so he's taken the information on board. Physically, he's not able to train fully, but he's getting the idea of the new manager, he's getting the idea of the way they want to play.
Is this Joe? Sorry, it's hard. Jacquet. It's important they're all here. You know, we've got Leone just sitting here. It's important these lads are here and they're listening. They might not be able to physically take part in things, but they're here, they're knowing, they're understanding, they're feeling that presence to get themselves ready for when they do start. You know, Hugo Ekitike, lovely to see him. I was having a nice chat with him the other day, asking about his injury. It's things like that, and just having a sense of the occasion at the three stadiums.
He also spoke in his interviews this week about Florian Wirtz as a 10. Yeah. Knows he can play from the left. Spoken about wingers playing both sides, but he seemed pretty specific on that he thinks they'll get the best out of him in that position.
You know what, I love that. I mean, I think it gives a little bit of clarity for Florian Wirtz as well, because people are, you know, we hear all the time about his best position maybe here, but sometimes he played on that side. So Andoni's nailing his position, so I think that sort of gives him a little bit of a freshness as well. I mean, he'll come in and he'll probably know where he's going to play now, which I think as a player, I think that's needed.
He's the one that we're looking for, isn't it? We've waited and waited, and it's not really happened we've seen, particularly for half a season, everybody was still with him. He's got that potential to unlock defences. But then when you're getting shifted to the left, playing in the middle, then you're maybe playing 30 minutes on the right. It doesn't help him. It doesn't help him with his confidence because he's thinking, where am I fitting in here? And he is, I think he will be in that number 10 role. Get the ball between the lines soon, quickly.
And I think, if you think about it, obviously, logically as well, I think that tells you that we'll obviously get someone into the positions. I mean, whoever comes in, we don't know, but I mean, maybe that's Andoni trying to the owners. Well, look, he's there, he's not going to play there, so therefore we need someone here, or we need someone there. He's playing here, so that might be a message to the owners as well.
And he's talked about wingers, hasn't he? If you are a winger at the moment, and you can see Isak firing, you can see a Florian Wirtz that's on fire as well, you'd be desperate to join a club like this.
Well, it is. There's some big names, and you see them, and was it Diamanda? You were hearing that, his choice was Liverpool and everything. You'd always get these things, but once we were involved, the price starts shooting up and everything. Then you think of earning 120 million. You're going, this was starting off at 80 million. But the thing about his preference was to come to Liverpool. And that's where we still are on the world stage. So a lot of players, you see Wirtz, you see Isak, when Ekitike comes back, Virgil van Dijk, McAllister, when we're all there and we're all up and firing, we're a great team and a great squad.
So we mentioned him a moment ago. We caught up with Flo just after that training session we talked about, and he seems delighted to be back with the squad again.
I feel very good. Very happy to see all of the boys again, and also to meet the new manager and his staff. So it feels really good.
You mentioned the new manager. What are the first impressions like for you? How's it gone so far?
Yeah, I just can say that the training is really fun. I enjoy every training until now. We play a lot of games and possessions, and that's exactly what I like. I just enjoy it until now.
He was talking yesterday about he sees you as playing behind the striker in a central role. I know you'll be happy to play anywhere, but is that something that excites you?
Yeah, of course. I was always more like a number 10, but I play where the manager puts me, but we've spoken about that as well, but let's see what happens this season.
So let's look back at the previous game then, the midweek outing, Liverpool jetting into New York and left with a narrow victory over Wrexham. Liverpool have made it to the Bronx. New York City, the world-famous Yankee Stadium, plays host to game number 2 of the Reds pre-season. A win in Nashville, Andoni Iraola will be fully expectant of them continuing on that very same path.
Liverpool giving a debut to their brand new Adidas away strip of white jerseys and red shorts. The opposition are Wrexham, with Hollywood superstar owners Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, with his fairy tale story for Wrexham.
Well, that's a lovely ball that's played on towards Josh Abbey, and Danny Ward is able to make the save. And this is Lewis Kumas, but he doesn't need asking twice. Elliott, lovely take. Kumas, Scanlon, Danny Ward makes a save. Here comes Dominic Soboslai. Kumas is run. James with the corner, met by Doyle. Soboslai. It's Kumas, it's Elliott. Soboslai with the hit. The catch it, and then the save by Mamadashvili. Good layoff for Soboslai. Now Ingemore. Deflection and in. They just backed off Rio Ingemore and paid the ultimate price. Liverpool get their goal, and lighting up New York City is Rio Ingemore.
Yeah, I think we were more solid than the other day. Even if the other day maybe you score more goals and looks nicer, I think today we were more a team, more collective, yes.
All the lads, they're treating me like I'm a professional player. Obviously, I'm still young and I'm learning, but I think all the players have been top, and it's been good.
got my first taste of championship minutes last year, so yeah, basically for tests like this, and you know, to show that I'm at this level, and hopefully I can push on past that level. So yeah, it's just about showing myself and showcasing what I can do.
Want to play and start as many games as I can, and I think these games are a really good showcase to show the manager, because it's a fresh start for everyone.
The fans were really good, the atmosphere was great, and it's always good in the US, so yeah, really good.
Yeah, it was a great part of the tour, the trip to the US in their traditional red. The Liverpool team that, if you're just joining us, shows 5 changes from that win over Wrexham the other night, and the return of those two at the front there in the form of Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz, who we're told will play at least 45 minutes each, is the plan here tonight. He was quite pleased with that performance against Wrexham, and he knows that everybody would like to see every pre-season game be 5-0 to Liverpool. The fact it was a narrow victory, he felt collectively they looked a bit more hard to get at as well.
I think that's what you want to see in pre-season. You want to see like a progression in every single game. So when we think of the national game, a little bit slow and ponderous at times. I think there's an improvement certainly in the Wrexham game. You've gone from the slow and ponderous to trying to move the ball a little bit quicker, and I think we're expecting this game to be a little bit quicker, because you know, let's put it a little bit fitter, a little bit sharper, and hopefully that will transcend onto the football pitch.
I think you have to take into account, even when we're watching the state of the pitches, it wasn't great the other night. It was long, it wasn't sort of watered enough, and it's like that. It was small as well. This is quite long, this pitch. This is a bit, so you'll get a little bit more time maybe on the ball. So you're seeing it, Robbie's right, you see a little bit of improvement fitness wise, and then in technical ability, people getting used to each other. So by the third game, by next week's game, you'll see the players improving even more.
We got a nice bit of insight after the game as well. You saw the shots there just before. That was the chance to equalise right at the end for Wrexham. But we had Rio in our interview position, and you said to me, you're trying to go between his legs there, and he was saying that's what he's trying to do a lot now. Find those little gaps where he can maybe just sneak a shot that they're not expecting.
The players, the likes of strikers and everything, in and around the box. And I was quite surprised, because the lad was in front of him, and I thought he's trying to drive it between his legs. And as he explained to us, you've got to take your shots because you don't know what's going to happen, which is too right, and too often we don't do that. Last season we were like trying to walk the ball in, but you can see him the way he shifts his feet there. It is good. You look, there's 3 players around him, so it's all happening. And he was very humble. And Robbie picked him out, which is a lovely moment the other night when after our interview, he gave his shirt to one of the kids in the crowd, and he was in tears, the kid. I don't mean Rio, I mean the kid who was in the crowd. So the boy's learning all the time. He's accepting this adulation from the fans, but it's what he's got to do on the pitch, which is going to give him the rewards.
What would you be saying to Rob as a striker now? If you were in that team, what would you be trying to change about him or help him along with?
I think you've got to change slight things with him, where sometimes maybe he tries to over-elaborate and tries to be that perfect attacker or winger in beating a man and making a shoulder defender. Sometimes as a striker or as a winger in these attacking positions, you've got to get his shots away quick. At the minute, he was probably a little bit predictable at times last year in terms of you knew what he was going to try and do. He was going to try and beat the man, try and get a shot away. Sometimes as a striker, you don't need to beat a man. You can get the shot away through the legs, you can touch it to the side and get your shot away. But the importance of releasing that ball a little bit early, whether it's for a pass or for a shot, that'll be the big difference. And I think we'll see a change in him this year, because I think someone would have had a word with him about that.
Also, you know, when he's doing the step overs, we had this chat, I can't remember whether it was this morning or yesterday, when he's doing his things, because I can appreciate Robbie's train of thought, is when he's got the ball and he's on the corner of the box, go past somebody on the outside and drill it across, because he's then making his move. Once you do that and you come back again and you go again, he's thinking, I'm not going to make a move now. He stops doing what comes natural. So Rio has to not just advance his game, but he has to think of others as well who are waiting in the middle.
That's a great point, actually, because he's got to understand it's not always all about him, is it? He's got a role to play in the team, and that's creating shots. I mean, Andoli talked about it, you're getting the winger to go that side of the full-back as opposed to cutting inside all the time, and I think that's what we need as a football club. We need to sort of maybe change the game and change the plan a little bit, because last year we were very, very predictable in terms of people know what we were going to do, so we were probably easy to defend against, whereas there's going to be changes.
Just a final one on Rio there, because his mantle has changed. Almost the order of service, if you like, this season is not going to be for him to play the odd game. You feel as though he's a real option from the start for 35 to 40 games this season.
The big thing about that is, Pete, is he's expecting it now, and you get to that point. Robbie was young, I was young. Once you played a couple of games, you go, I'm ready. Whether he's 17, whether he's 20, you go, I'm ready. So you want to play more regular. You can't deny him then that opportunity. I don't care how old he is. If he's better than somebody else in a wide position, he's got to play. It's no good going, oh well, Cody Gakpo's more experienced. No, this kid's better and more dangerous at this moment. And he'll have his downtime, he'll have his times where he's going to find it hard, and then you come out, you sit out there, and then it's time, Rio, just have a look and watch what we expect from people. So I think there's still a lot of learning to do, but at this moment, he's saying, I deserve to be picked.
He gives us a bit of an insight on that. He's been spending some time with Susanna Fuller. It's really intriguing, you know, he talks almost as good as he plays about his first goal at Anfield and how he sees the season's challenge ahead. So look out for that one on All Red Video. And it might be our last game here in the US, but for the rest of Liverpool's pre-season campaign, we've got you covered. Liverpool's stateside adventures are almost over, but we've still got plenty of pre-season action still to come. The Reds sign off their US tour with a match against Leeds United here in Chicago. And then it's back to Merseyside for 2 games at Anfield and the behind-closed-doors match at the AXA to wrap up preparations ahead of a new Premier League campaign. You can watch Liverpool's remaining pre-season games live this summer online, on the club app and via connected TVs with All Red Video. They're running a 2-week free trial at the moment too. Head to video.liverpoolfc.com to sign up. And of course, those matches will also be live on LFC TV. Yeah, the insight will continue. Video.liverpoolfc.com if you're not a subscriber and would like to be. All of those remaining pre-season games right here for you on LFC TV and All Red Video. So let's get back to Susanna. She's been outside with the fans for the traditional tailgate party ahead of kick-off at Soldier Field.
All right, so we're at the Fan Fest here outside of Soldier Field before Liverpool are facing Leeds, and I have found a lovely Liverpool supporter. This is Boubacar. How you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Okay, tell me where you're from, and is this your first Liverpool experience?
Yeah, this is my first game watching Liverpool. I've been a Liverpool fan for like 15 years. I'm all the way from Africa, like from Gambia. So I've been watching Liverpool on TV for like all my life. It's just fascinating. It's just like a dream come true to watch Liverpool for the first time. I'm so excited.
Oh, I mean, this is incredible. So you made the trip to Chicago for this.
I live in Wisconsin right now. I live in Wisconsin doing school and job. So I just have to drive for like 2 hours. Because they're coming to Chicago. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to watch this game. It's my first time watching Liverpool. It's so exciting.
This is special, man. Okay, so this is your first time watching Liverpool live. Who are you excited to see out there?
I mean, everyone, the players, the staff, I mean, the fans. I mean, they've been incredible, like going with Liverpool all the way every year. I love the fans, I love the players. Yeah, especially Virgil van Dijk. He's my favorite player.
No Verge here today, unfortunately, but I feel like we need to have a big season from Big Verge, right?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. He's been incredible over the years. He's been fantastic over the years. I hope he's going to stay. I hope he's going to be fit for the, for almost a big part of the season.
How have you found this fan fest? Have you seen a lot of Liverpool fans here?
I've seen a lot of Liverpool fans. It's nice meeting different people, different culture, all like united because of Liverpool. It's a very good
It's
thing.
special. We're one big family, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's a.
Hey, enjoy this. I'm really excited for you, Boubacar.
Walk alone.
I know. Oh, this is beautiful. I will never walk alone. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Let's see who else we can find. How about this guy right here? Hello. Hello. How are you? I love it. The guy I just interviewed had the same kit on. This is one of my favorites, by the way.
Thank you. I love it too. Well, as soon as I saw they were bringing back that retro green, I was like, I have to pick it up. Yeah.
Okay. Tell me your name and where you're from.
I'm Ozzy, so I'm from the Chicagoland area. Yeah, live in the Chicago suburbs, but I've always lived here. Love Chicago.
How long have you been a Liverpool supporter?
I have been a Liverpool supporter. Man, it's hard to tell. I know for sure it's been more than 12, 15 years. Yeah, I can't remember. I was much younger, but as soon as I saw the players, the passion, the club, like the environment, all the fans, like I loved that. I was like, I have to pick it.
It's special. It's special. So when you found out that Liverpool were coming to Chicago for their preseason tour, how quickly were you on it to get tickets?
On the first pre-sale. The first pre-sale, I was like, okay, like I'm gonna hop on. I told my brother, I was like, hey, you want to come with me? I'm getting tickets. Like, he's like, yeah, all right, let's get them. So yeah, right as soon as I could, I was waiting for the first pre-sale, and I was like, I'm like signed up to the Liverpool club. So I was like, okay. I'm getting them, so I'm getting those tickets.
All right, so we have a lot of people watching right now who aren't familiar with kind of the U.S. tailgating culture. If you had to kind of describe it to fans in the UK and like what that looks like, how would you describe it?
I would say I think it's as close to going to a pub and drinking before the game, but everybody pulls up to the parking lot. They prepare, like some people grill like hot dogs, burgers, and drinking, having fun. Prepping up for the game, like building up that environment, the hype before the game.
It's perfect. I think you nailed it. Got to have a good spread, though. The food is very important at a tailgate.
That is true.
Very important. All right, so they're about to take on Leeds today. They've been playing well in preseason. Give me your prediction for today.
I'm thinking 3-1.
3-1?
Yeah.
I like it. I think that sounds good. Ozzy, enjoy yourself. Thank you so much. We love Liverpool fans. They're the best.
Yeah, it's been brilliant outside. Susanna doing a great job there, and the atmosphere is building nicely inside. Just as the Liverpool players were announced, I would say it's probably about 80-20, and I'm being generous there in favour of Liverpool. Leeds, no less, are a massive club. They finished 14th in the league last season. They'll probably be looking at a season in a pretty positive light. But what lies ahead for the Ellen Road side? Becky Davis has been taking a closer look.
Change is very much en vogue in the Premier League, certainly where managers are concerned. But in the summer tradition of stick or twist, Leeds remained loyal to Daniel Farke. Time appeared in short supply pre-Christmas. 4 defeats on the trot in November could well have sealed his fate. But then a change in formation, a win at Old Trafford, and remaining unbeaten against Liverpool did no end of good at the ballot box.
Farke had never shown at any stage in 2 and a bit years that he could switch things up. So, when he did, and it wasn't just a couple of tweaks, it was a complete change of tack and approach, and no more sort of tepid possession football. He made Leeds hard to beat.
They've kind of got a plan now. I didn't think Leeds had a plan for a while, but I think from the manager down to the boardroom, I think everyone's got a plan, and even the players look happy. And I think in football at Liverpool, if everyone's happy and everyone's smiling, it's a good way to be.
And so here they are, Chicago, the final leg of their preparation for a trip to Nottingham Forest on the opening weekends. A familiar face headlines their close season recruitment. Harry Wilson with 17 goal contributions in his 36 Premier League games is standout and reportedly chose Leeds ahead of Villa and Everton.
If he can start well, the fans will love him. Because the thing is, Brendan Aaronson's been absolutely a workhorse and done so well. But I think, is he a replacement? I don't know. Can they both play in the same team? I'm not sure about that. But there's an option for them both. And I think that Harry will probably bring more goals than Brendan. And Harry's distribution. That's one thing that we need to get better at is the distribution into the final third, because we've got big lads, there's big lads there now and they want to put their heads on it. So if the delivery's better, I think Harry will bring that.
Harry Wilson's a good signing, not only because he's coming off the back of a good season, but it's someone Leeds wanted last summer before he had the best season of his career, and he obviously seemed to have enjoyed the fact that Leeds wanted him, because here we are a year later and he signed for the club.
Hope springs eternal. They've had their scrape with the drop. The stadium is growing, so too is their ambition. Mid-table and a sprint for Europe is well and truly in their sights.
They've had quite a bit of work to do recruitment-wise, the Leeds United board and the manager Daniel Farker as well. What was greatly successful about last season is that we saw them buck the trend, and quite often these promoted sides go straight back down again. They and Sunderland, no problem for them.
Yeah, I mean, Sunderland were probably the pick of the teams that came up. I think Leeds struggled for a large part of the season and then had a real change just after January. So, I mean, obviously I've still got a lot of mates who are Leeds fans, and they were saying they were a little bit worried at one stage. They were a bit worried about if Daniel Farker was the man. But you've got to say, probably just after January, they didn't turn a form as though certainly what kept them in the Premier League, and then obviously progressing to finish fourth in the league. So I think they had a successful season.
Well, I thought it was very harsh on Daniel Farker. Even before the season started, they were talking about him losing his job because they said he took Norwich down, and has he got what it takes? And you go and give the guy a chance, and he had that difficult start, but then they turned it round. Do you know how they turned it round? Which is what he didn't do at Norwich. He adapted to the Premier League. He was true to his values at Norwich, stayed the same way, I'm playing the same way, don't be telling me we'll play out at the back. He changed it, he went 3 at the back. I think they played really well against Man City, but just got beat. They beat Chelsea, then they played us, and 3-3, and all those confidence boosters, and that's why they had really a healthy finish.
Difficult opposition for us last year. I know quite a few teams did, but those gritty draws, the game at Ellen Road we should have won. They're a really irritating team at times, Leeds.
I mean, it can be, but you know what, you're Liverpool and you expect that. So teams will maybe up the game or will sit in like a low block, which is maybe what we were probably not used to last year. So they'll have a team that works hard. Certainly there's a new style of play for them. There's a new players that have come in. They've got that familiarity with the manager now. But last year the results were, I think it was more to do with Liverpool as opposed to Leeds, to be honest, because I don't think we were great last year.
Well, we played the game at Ellen Road. We literally played them off the park, and Ibu makes that silly tackle, which to me, Nonto was running the ball out of play anyway to give a penalty, but I think Ibu give him a decision to make, and it gave them, especially at Ellen Road, you know what it's like, Rob, and the crowd got up and everything, and it was no surprise they scored late on to make it 3-3.
We're hoping that the players' touch is good here in the warm-up, because we're very close, and as Tomo was referencing just before, training has been very intense in the course of the last week or two. Shall we take a quick look at the team that Leeds United have picked? I think we can do that now. They are slightly ahead of Liverpool in terms of their pre-season preparations, but they've only had 3 days between this and their win over Sunderland. So he's only made 4 changes. Alex Kearns in goal, then it's Jayden Bogle, Gabriel Goodmundsson, the skipper Ethan Ampadu, such a big part of everything positive where Leeds are concerned. They've got their brand new centre-back in there as well, wearing the number 5. Joe Rodon, Dan James, Lucas Metcher, Anton Stack, Tananka and James Justin are the starting 11 in there for Leeds United. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's missed a little bit of action or missed a bit of training this week. He's one of those number 9s, Rob, isn't he, that you feel as though he gets that little bit of rhythm in his game. He can be one of the best about.
Well, he's done it with Leeds, didn't he, a few times where he had that little rich vein of form where he scored a goal, and as good confident strikers do that, you get that goal and then it progresses there, then you score more goals, and then every time you go into a football pitch you feel as though he could have scored. So he has got that in his thing. But I mean, Leeds and Everton, he probably struggled getting the minutes because he struggled with a little bit of fitness. But when he is fit and firing, he's an absolute handful, by the way.
He is a handful, and you look at him, he loves jumping into people. You could see at times when he was searching for his fitness, he'd be jumping into people, forgetting about the ball. It's just, look how high I can jump. And I think he had a great second half of the season. When they were having that good time, he was prominent in scoring goals. He had a couple of penalties, but my goodness, at least he was getting on the end of things. And I thought he had a decent season in the end.
What is the aim for Leeds then, Rob? Sometimes when they are a sleeping giant, they've got great support all over the world as a club, haven't they? Is that Europe, or are they just looking at survival again this year?
I mean, it's like a conundrum for Leeds, isn't it? Because for me, Leeds are a big club. So I think you need to have... It's like saying to Liverpool, where do you think you should be? I mean, we should be winning leagues. So Leeds should be thinking we should be aiming for Europe, the minimum. But where did he get there or not? It's obviously it's a totally different conversation. But I think from a fan point of view, you know how big the club is, you know what the expectations are, and you want them to finish as high as they can. I know they've come up through the year. I know that they finished 14 with a struggle last year. But you've got to remember who you are, and I think that's what we sort of miss from football at times. You've got to remember where you are. You've got to achieve big things. You've got to aim high.
Recruitment has been a big part for their summer, as it is for every club that's trying to improve on last season. Harry Wilson looks like a really shrewd signing for them, Tomo, somebody we know very well, and somebody who had his best season in the Premier League last year.
His best season, we were talking about Calvert-Lewin, but obviously Harry in another position. So I would have thought there'd have been a few teams up for him. For him to go to Leeds, I just think it's a good acquisition. It's what he does. It's not just the goals he scored. Everybody goes, oh yeah, he had his best goal scored. It was his assists as well. It's what he could do. Otherwise, scored probably what I think one of the goals of the season, a 1-2 on the edge of the box at home with Fulham, and then he just with the outside of his foot bent it in like that. You go, wow! But that's with confidence. When you do something like that, you're at the top of your game. You have total faith in your ability.
Always does well against us as well, Harry Wilson. We'll have to look out for him tonight. Now, one is well on the way on his recovery journey. The other's probably still on a high after securing an extension to his contract. Let's go on an alternative tour of Chicago's sights now with Connor Bradley and Freddie Woodman.
Mr. Beef, I am absolutely buzzing.
Easy.
How's it, bro?
How are you,
You good?
Pleasure
Nice
to meet you,
Nice to
man.
meet you.
Christopher, I'm the owner here, man.
This is sick.
Jason's a big soccer guy. What's up, man?
What's up,
Pleasure
man?
to meet you, man.
You have got no idea what we are doing, mate. The Mr. Beef, mate.
It's hard though, isn't it?
Honestly, like you're watching a TV show and you're on edge. Like it's chaos.
Is it?
Oh, it's such a good TV show, man. It feels a bit like that at a minute, doesn't it? It's a bit crazy like the TV show. When I'm watching a show. What?
I've never watched it.
No.
Never watched it. My childhood friend created it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's the guy that's behind it. We're gonna make you guys sandwiches right now.
You're gonna make us one? What are you doing on Sunday? You
On
busy?
Sunday, I'm around. I'm around, yeah.
So you're not doing nothing on Sunday?
I'm not doing anything on Sunday, my man.
Right, I've got a good idea. I've got a great idea.
All right.
Well, do you want to come watch us play on Sunday?
Yeah, I'd be honored.
Deal?
I'd be honored, sir.
Perfect.
Yeah. He's going too.
Is he?
Yeah, he's going. He's a big soccer guy.
Big, yeah.
He's a big guy. I have a TV back there. Nobody got any work done for the last 3 weeks.
Oh, the World Cup?
Everybody was just like this all day. It was going against the wall. Nobody was paying attention. It was f***ing soccer non-stop.
Yeah. Oh, this actually feels like I'm in the show now. It's as crazy as the show, man. Like, how many sandwiches you do a day?
Oh, I mean, what do you think, Jason? I mean, probably more than that. Probably more than that.
I'm buzzing. Mate, this looks like Dark Knight, I'm not even joking. It does look like when he has his like Batmobile under this here. Oh, where they come with a school bus and a bank. Is this the bank? No way.
Oh, this is the bank.
You ain't even seen the film.
I know.
Dreamer. Mate, oh, it is, yeah. But it's not actually a bank. Oh, what a great scene that is, actually.
Well, let's go and have a look.
We'll have a look.
We'll have a look.
Of course, we'll have a look.
Can't continue like this, can it?
It
oh,
can.
It can. Oh, wow.
Oi, oi, oi. Mate, you need to watch this film, mate, honestly. So,
No,
yeah. I've got it.
You know it now?
Yeah. Stick.
We'll get a picture in here, though. Should we get one in the middle?
That's a good camera, that, isn't it?
It's a sick camera,
Jeez.
mate.
Do you know what? It's in my top 5 films. Big film geek. It's pretty cool to come to these sort of places. I actually went to one of my favourite films, Gladiator, when I went to Florence. Stopped off where he brushed the grass and that, went there. So another location I've been to on the film, pretty cool. It's one of them, innit, when you're telling stories and stuff, you're like, oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, it's nice to say you've
Do you
been
know
there.
what I mean? Like, no, that scene in the film, it sets the movie up, doesn't it? Sets the movie up proper. Can you imagine them having to like shut this down to film?
I know, yeah. Oh my
Wicked.
God.
What a scene.
That's cool, that, mate.
Batman, Dark Knight, head on head.
Truck flip, truck goes.
Oh, mate, wicked. That is. Look, in the. Yeah. Hey, we should come down here and live.
Batman. Here he is. Where's Joker?
I think maybe like behind the scenes, Heath Ledger done a skateboard trick over Batman.
Did he?
Yeah.
Can we get a photo again, by the way?
Yeah.
Sick.
Do I go that way?
Oh yeah, mate. I can go up again.
There.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, they've been quite the double act them too. It's worth watching. Another one on all red video, the behind-scenes access. Freddie Woodman and Connor Bradley having a wander around Chicago. Players have just gone in, the team that will play the first half from their warm-up. You really like the warm-up, Robbie?
Yeah, I thought it was sharp, I thought it was intense. And what I loved about it was the very end where he got in the middle of the pitch, coach blew the whistle and they all sprinted off. I think that's getting you in the right frame of mind to look, listen, we're ready now, we need to kick on from here. But I thought it was good. I thought the intensity and the sharpness, particularly from that moment, was good, and the players are ready.
The players that will play the second half still out during their warm-up here, but we are getting that little bit closer to kick-off. Let's get back to Susanna. She's been catching up with Luke Chambers, who starts as one of Liverpool's centre-backs today.
All right, Luke, coming off a big start and performance against Wrexham, you're back in the starting lineup today at centre back. I know that is not your usual position, but how big of an opportunity is this for you to continue to impress?
Yeah, really big. I think the main thing for me is it's against a Premier League opponent, so hopefully I can show that I'm at that level. So yeah, it'll be a good test, but one that I'm ready for.
What's the biggest challenge in transitioning from a fullback to a centre back?
Definitely the more aerial duels. Yeah, I think that's the big one. And then, like I said on my last interview, not much changes with the positioning. You know, it's something in my game that that's good. So yeah, probably the aerial duels.
Well, you mentioned your opponent today, Leeds, another Premier League side. How big of a test is this for you guys, especially as preseason, you're getting closer and closer to the start of regular season?
Yeah, it's a big test. Not long till obviously the season starts, so hopefully we can, ramp it up again. And our main thing is, making sure we're ready for when the season starts. So yeah, it'll be a good test.
Appreciate the time, Luke. Thank you.
Yeah, another interesting afternoon for Luke Chambers. It's been an interesting fortnight for him. Robbie mentioned in the last game, Tomo, that there's a lot of luck involved in football. Sometimes that little bit of adaptability where you're playing in a new position might just have convinced the manager to keep him around next year.
I can talk from experience. I was a midfield player, and it was just out of necessity. I ended up going in at centre-back because of injuries to centre-halves, and it changed my whole career. And it happens, and you look at the player and you're going, never really seen him in another position playing centre-back. I have in the under-21s, he got moved there, but it shows your capability, and you go, it opens your eyes a little bit, even as a coach, because don't forget, Iriola will be, he's still finding out about these young lads, so it's nice to get those options. He might not be the biggest, but if you can handle yourself positionally and technically, you've got a bit of a chance.
He's got that relative experience, not to the detriment of Luke Chambers, because he's had really good loans, hasn't he, at Wigan and Kilmarnock. He probably falls into that category now that he's too good to play 23s, too experienced. So what do they do next as a club to try and further him?
Yeah, it's interesting. You've got to think with Liverpool, they're going to be signing, obviously, players and coming in. He's done all right when he's gone on loan. Is he the required level you need? You'll only know that when he plays games. He's done well on the loans, as we've said. Is he going to go back on loan? But then it becomes a point in his career where he probably feels as though he wants more. And then he'll probably have a decision to make. As much as the club will want to make a decision, it might ultimately come down to what he wants to do as well.
Centre-backs have done well, though, Tomo, when you think about what they've been up against. Young Ifeanyi Ndukwu, who's played as a centre-back, looks like he's a real player for the future.
Do you know what? They've not done themselves any harm. And it's one thing, as I say, is committed. It's another is your ability, but it's your positional play, how they've developed, and it looks like he's an absolutely good player, good prospect. So it's lovely to see them in games like this. This will be another test for him today. So I just hope he does as well as he has done the other games.
Standout player for you so far has been a midfielder, I think it's safe to say,
yeah,
of the youngsters.
He's been fantastic. He run the game the other night against Wrexham, and Robbie himself tried to explain how, as a young player, you just want to keep possession. If that means just go back with it, pass it back, pass it sideways. You've got to start looking forward, son. You've got to pass the ball and try and hurt people. Get it between the lines ASAP, because that's the guy who needs the more time on the ball. That's what he was bringing to his game the other night.
It's true, and I mean, it's every position. So whether you're a young player, an older player, the objective is you've got to try and hurt teams, and you're not going to hurt teams if you keep passing the ball sideways and trying to keep that possession. Possession's great, but there's got to be a bit of productivity at the end of it, where you've got to get players in positions where they can turn, get through balls in, get crosses in for the wingers, because we need to excite the crowd. When the crowd gets excited, it lifts everyone up, it lifts everyone on the pitch. If it's a bit ponderous and monotonous at the back, then there's a little bit of a boredom sets in.
He seemed to reference that after Wrexham. The manager talked about the fact that he is very vertical. We've heard loads about that, haven't we? But sometimes from a midfielder, you want to see them clip it into the number 10 or a ball over the top for the striker. It feels like that's what he wants to see from Trey now as he progresses.
I think that's progression in your own game. You can't stay at one pace and one trick for all your early career. That's what I got a massive early lesson of Joe Fagan, one of my first reserve games. He said, he gave me a rollicking at the end of the game. He said, I don't care whether it's your first game or your 20th. Pass it forward, son, because I just wanted to keep it and go and play safe. Play the way you're facing. But it's not, if you want to mature, if you want to better your career, you have to start moving forward, playing the ball forward, then start playing killer passes, and then you've got to start having shots. Get yourself in the right position to have a shot. We have not done enough of those things all of last season.
Right, let's get back to Susanna. She's been catching up with the Chicago Bears cornerback Josh Blackwell, who's been had a bit of a soft spot for Liverpool over the years, having visited the city also in June while on a promotional tour of the UK with the Bears. He's built on that love a little bit more.
All right, well, this is so cool for me because I'm standing by with the Chicago Bears defensive back and return specialist Josh Blackwell. We got a whole different kind of football happening at Soldier Field. How cool is this for you?
Amazing, amazing. It's my first soccer game ever, so to even be a part of this with Liverpool, can't beat it.
Epic, historic stuff. Now, I heard that you have actually been to Liverpool. In fact, you're telling me this is where you got this whole fit. What is your connection to the club?
So in June, I went with the Bears for a community outreach for an NFL Girls Flag Football event. And while we were out there, kind of just let me kind of tour the place, me and Peanut Tillman. So
not bad. And now Liverpool's your team.
And now Liverpool.
Obviously.
Right.
So what are you looking forward to today? Because as we said, Soldier Field, we're used to watching a different sport here, but how do you think this crowd is going to react to these guys?
Super excited to see this because, again, it's my first soccer game ever. Watching the World Cup, I saw the energy, I can feel it. I'm super excited.
Okay.
I really can't wait.
Well, we've seen your skills. We know that you can run it back. How would you be as this kind of footballer?
I don't know about this. I would give my best, and I would run hard and play hard, but I don't think I'd be very good.
On the reverse side of that, how do you think these guys would fare on the Chicago Bears this year?
I think it'd be just the same, not very good.
Well, thank you so much. Enjoy this. Take it all in, and good luck this season.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Josh.
All right.
It shows you about the future at Liverpool, what you're seeing tonight, but also the potential future who sat just a couple of yards away from us as well. Some really exciting players when you look down that line that have loved to have seen Jeremy Jacquet in action tonight. You talked about Gio as well, who's on his comeback trail, Connor Bradley. We should mention also Wataru Endo, who might have half a chance of playing centre-back at the start of the season. Such has been his flexibility to play. You know, once these players are all fit again, Liverpool will have some squad on their hands.
Well, there is. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 injuries on that bench. You know, and all of them possibly could start most of the games. You know, you go like a TK there, Endo, Joe, Connor, and Jeremy. It's not a bad bench, and you got young Leone there. So it's It's quite a decent bench for an injury bench.
As well, it's the future, isn't it? Yeah. There's a lot of young players there who, like, we all know how good they are. I know you've got the obviously experience in Joe, who's unfortunately not made it with the team because of injury, but it's the future. There's some very, very good players there. If you get their bodies right and get themselves prepared for the Premier League, the rigours of the Premier League, then we could be having a great team in the future as well.
It's that vibe that they build off the pitch as well. We've spoken about this a few times on pre-season. They're spending every waking hour of the day together, really, bar the bit of sleep that they get. These relationships that they build on these trips hopefully will be secure for the next 5-6 years.
And it is, you've got to give them that. That's why I think the great thing is, yes, they could have stayed at home, got the treatments at the AXA, which should not be a problem. But I think this is more beneficial, particularly with a new manager, is to be here, to see how they handle themselves as a new manager. Have a look at them, see whether they're pushing themselves for what they can do. And I just think it's a great opportunity for them to come out here. I really do.
I mean, you just sort of like put the thing into my head there, Tom, as well. So, you know, when all the players are here, I know we've got a few players back at the AXA training ground, and that's, I mean, for whatever reason, I don't know. But I'm thinking of a player in a squad. I want to be with the team. I want to be there, because if you're back at home and there's no one there, for me that's a little bit boring. You don't feel as though you're getting the atmosphere and ready for the start of the season.
Advantage for the injured players to be here as well.
Absolutely. I think it's imperative that you're here.
What will you be asking of them tonight, Tomo, that has been different from Sunderland and Wrexham? We look at the starting lineup; it's so much more experienced.
I feel he'll want to have a step up in the passing, quick passing to each other, getting there, causing problems, because that's what we want to see. And everybody's saying, oh, it's great to see them going forward quickly again. But at the end of it, let's get a shot, let's get a cross in, let's make it. They're the exciting things for fans. So if you're giving us that, I think we'll all be pleased to see the progression.
Looking forward to this one then, and your commentary team is standing by to take you through it. Gary Gillespie and first, John Bradley.